but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
I'm Rob Wheely, and I'm the CEO of Alloy Wheel Repair Specialists. We're the world's largest provider of wheel refinishing, remanufacturing, and wheel replacement. My dad was a car enthusiast, always working on cars of his own and new projects. That passed down to me, and it still grows with me today. Wheels have become the jewelry of the car. People want their wheels to look nice. We provide basic refinishing of wheels. We have remanufacturing facilities that provide extensive repair. We also have put all of our processes through an independent facility that's accredited. You can find those certifications on our website. We do it all. You bring your wheel to us and we'll figure it out. We strive for not just customer service experience, but customer excellence. We want to wow them so they come back each and every time. All of our technicians are trained and certified. We even have a master training course. It's important to love what you do. It's important to make employees feel a part of the team, and they're seeing the same rewards as you do. That's what helps us accomplish our goal. Everybody's our customer. The retail public, dealerships, body shops, insurance companies, warranty companies. We have a claims department. We're the ones that they call to come in and repair it. So if you find yourself in need of wheel refinishing, wheel repair, wheel replacement, or if you just want to custom color your wheels, give us a call. We'll help you find the right location, or you can go to our website. There's a locator on there to find the location closest to you.
Hello everybody, welcome into Fontana, California here at the historic Auto Club Speedway for round 2 of the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series presented by the Alloy Wheel Repair Specialist drivers. Now in qualifying, we'll take you right down trackside where we are currently taking a look at Brian Watson, one of the dominant drivers here in the early going. We've only had one race so far, of course that was last week, and it was the Capital Auto 250. But we will see what things change around tonight. We got a lot to come tonight. Last week's winner, Danny Gutierrez. We will be holding a silent lap 8. We'll talk more about that when we get there. First, let's get through qualifying, get the grid set, start. Here we go. Ryan Shiro now going to get on track. Let's go ahead and pull up the scoring tower so everybody can see what the stats are looking like, how long we got left in qualifying. It looks like a lot of these guys have indeed already qualified. We got started a little bit later than usual here on the broadcast, but nonetheless, we appreciate everybody coming out here, supporting all, cheering on all their drivers. And we thank you for choosing us here at Ghost Racing Network. Brian Conklin out on track in the 37 machine now. Team Marble iRacing trying to get it going. We saw them have a strong recovery last week towards the end of the race. Unfortunately, they ran out of time. Either way, though, they were able to get back up in the pack, and it was, I believe it was Cody James, if I'm not mistaken, who actually led them back up there. And we are looking at Brian Curry here in the 28 machine. We'll see if somebody can beat the current pole sitter, which is Ryan Shiro. Ryan was looking really fast in practice. No surprise to see him back out here. I'll tell you what, while he's qualifying, I'm going to go ahead and put this link out really quick so you won't hear me for just a second. There we go. Brian Curry, see if we can see what kind of lap he was able to put down. Going to currently put him 12th on the board. Not too bad. Restart's going to be crazy here, so you definitely want to have track position in the early going. Not going to be that long of a race when you take everything in account. With 15 seconds left in qualifying, I think that is just about going to wrap it up. Maybe a couple guys still out on track just finishing up, but I'll tell you what, it doesn't look like it. Track looks empty. Going to get the jet dryers out there, get everything blown off, get ready to go green here one last time. Of course, Auto Club being torn down in real life, and that means we will not be coming back here most likely next season in the Fast Track Cup Series as well, but we'll have to see. You know, a lot of things change with time. And one of those things that did change a lot with time is the surface of this track. And it is going to play such a key factor in how all these guys handle throughout the race today. We're going to see 4 or 5 wide racing. Wouldn't even be surprised. But let's jump right into it with your race info. Get it up here for everybody. Like we said earlier, we are in Fontana, California at Auto Club Speedway. It's a giant 2-mile D-shaped oval Pretty good banking in the corners, not as heavy as we saw last week at Daytona by any means. But we are here for the Auto Club 200, presented by the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series and Alloy Wheel Repair Specialist. The race tonight is going to be 100 laps, 100% fuel, 3 sets of tires, excuse me. No fast repairs, and as always, going to be open setups with 3 green-white checkers. Wind 4 miles an hour. It is cloudy with 70% humidity, 65 degrees outside. Bit of a cool day here. Kind of matches what we saw in real life the other day. And last week at Daytona, we saw JBR E-Racing very dominant. We'll see if they can continue that tonight. And how about we get up to your blimp cam here and get straight in to your starting grid. Starting on the pole tonight is going to be Ryan Shiro. Thought maybe Joshua Watson would be able to get it again after starting on the pole at Daytona last week. Not going to be the case, though. Starting to his outside is going to be Joshua Watson. Moving to row 2 is going to be Tyler Marble and Brian Conklin. Row 3 is going to be Alan Pajari and Jeff Marble. Wes Hurd Jr. starts 7th. To his outside is going to be Cody Graham in the 91. John Kaltenbach in the 2 starts 9th. To his outside, a new driver this week, Nicholas Isaacs, EPI, Team EPI that is. And here he is getting himself the top 10 with a good qualifying run. 11th is going to be Tracy Powers. 12th, Brian Curry. Moving down to row 7 is going to be Johnny McCall-Check. 14th, Austin Fitzgerald. 15th, Andrew Nieder. 16th, Dave Sanders. Cody James starts 17th. To his outside, Carl Dotson. Row 10 is going to be Jacob Musso and Joe Musso. Moving back to row 11, it's going to be Cody Richardson and Andy Tico. Starting 23rd is going to be Jeff Shutt. 24th, Scott Naisland. 25th, Richard Elliott. 26th, Bill Benedict. 27th is going to be Andrew Kotska. 28th, Kyle Oakley. 29th is going to be Todd Shiro. 30th, Brian Watson. 31st is going to be Nick Kitchie. 32nd, Ryan Haynes. 33rd, Patrick Stein. 34th is going to be Cody Matthews. 35th, Jared Bundy. 36th, Scott Glasso. 37th, Glenn Grigsby. 38th, Matthew Gearinger. 39th, Jeffrey Souza. And rounding out the field for a 40-car pack tonight is going to be Joe Owen. That might be another new driver. So we are going to maybe make some more storylines. We'll talk about points, scheduling, all that crazy stuff, because we are going to have 100 laps of fast-paced 3, 4, maybe even 5 wide action here at Auto Club one more time before they're going to tear it down. With restarts being so key, these guys going to get every inch they can. Tire wear also going to play a big factor tonight with only those 3 sets of tires. You don't want to burn them up too early, but if somehow, some way you can find a way to keep yourself a set for late in the race and we get a late restart, you are going to be in the catbird seat. Here we go. Pace car is going to pull off the track. Ryan Shiro leads the field into the Geico restart zone, awaiting the flag wave. It's out. Green flag here in Fontana. Drivers all diving into turn 1, still side by side up front. It's going to be Ryan Shiro and Joshua Watson. That outside lane, I think, is going to prevail early. Sure enough, you see the one able to tuck down, pin it on the door of that 20 car, and he's going to stay side by side down the back for the first time, further back. Everybody looking for position, up, down, middle, back, front. Whichever way you can find it, these guys are looking to take it. Now we see the 48. Tyler Marble going to slide in line behind the 20 of Ryan Shiro. And although he took the pole, first lap lead is going to go to Joshua Watson in the 1 machine. Alan Pajari looked like maybe he thought about dipping low below the 48, but the 48 is going to do it to the 20 of Ryan Shiro. Further back, these guys all still trying to sort it out for position. Austin Fitzgerald, Dave Sanders, both running that top lane. Andrew Neidhart in the middle. How about Joe Musso in the 93 trying to make up a couple spots here early. Cody James right in the wall. So is Bill Benedict. But up front, Joshua Watson trying to hold these guys off. You see when they get too wide like that, it really stalls it out. Tyler Marble fell back, just wasn't able to maintain the speed. And now Alan Pajari is going to blow right by the 48 Napa Auto Parts machine. Alan Pajari now going to give a push to Ryan Shiro. You see the 01 trying everything. But this big push from the 34, maybe going to get Ryan Shiro to the bumper. It does. Can he make a move with it? Not this time. Going to have to follow the 01 back into turn 1. And I'll tell you why Joshua Watson is so determined on keeping that position because you want clean air, especially when these tires start to get old. It is going to get slick, and you are not going to want to run in somebody else's dirty air. These things lose a lot of downforce once that starts to be the case. And how about Brian Coughlin? Here he is running in the top 6 right now. Your biggest mover, though, currently through the field, from what I can see, is Andrew Kotska up 6 spots. The biggest loser of it all right now is going to be Andy Tico, who is down 16 spots. Looks like Joe Owen, Jeffrey Souza maybe had an issue because neither of them are on the track right now. We'll keep tabs on that. This is not a good start, and they are going to need something to work. Real quick, let's talk about this because it's going to be very important when we get there. Lap 8, we are going to be having a lap of silence. All you will hear is the cars, and we will make sure we turn those down. Out of respect for Danny Gutierrez, one of the saddest things I had to hear after last week, personal matters led one thing to another. And we hate to say it, but Danny Gutierrez's mom did pass away yesterday. Out of respect for him and his family, we're going to make sure we hold a silent lap on lap 8. 8 is, of course, Danny Gutierrez's number. And I just hope that everybody out there is keeping Danny in your prayers. He did, of course, win at Daytona last week. That's not important by any means right now. We hope Danny has time to recover. And whenever he gets back, all these guys will welcome on. Back up front, though, it's still going to be the 01 Joshua Watson. Alan Pajari, though, now takes second from Ryan Shiro. And that 34, the big gut machine, looking fast here early. He's ready to go for the lead. Oh, but up top, watch out. The 20's got to run on the outside. We'll see if he can carry it down the front stretch. Looks like that thing got a little wiggly. It is going to work, though. He's going to get to the outside of the 34. Further back, they have still not sorted it out. A lot of guys still 2x2. Jeff Marble, driver out of Buffalo, New York, the FastTrack Sim Racing CEO, as you see it down there. Team Marble iRacing, one of the leaders of it. He is 3 wide in the middle. To his outside, he sees the 25 of Tracy Powers. Tracy Powers got a new paint scheme tonight. Good looking one at that. Nicholas Isaacs, who we saw start inside the top 10, trying to maintain that spot, currently sitting 10th, was his starting position. We go back even further in the field here to 17th. We see Joe Musso, who is currently up 3 spots. The Musso Speed Shop boys trying to have a good run tonight. Kyle Oakley up 5 spots from where he started. Ryan Watson up 4 in the 04. And he is currently giving a run to Jacob Musso, who, unlike his teammate, Joe Musso, is currently falling back. Jeffrey Souza, Joe Owen still not on track. Andy Tico, not sure exactly what happened, but we can take the track map real quick. Yeah, you see he's way behind the field. We are coming up here on lap 8, and that means we are going to go quiet for a whole lap. You will see us back next lap. This one's for Danny Gutierrez. We do thank everybody for participating in that. Hope all's going well for Danny currently. Back up front, though, it's Joshua Watson. Sean Kaltenbach has made his way up to 3rd. 100% fuel. I'm not sure the exact window these guys can go on laps. If I had to guess, I'd say somewhere around 40 to 50 potentially at most. I'm going to say somewhere around lap 40. We'll see if anybody decides to go that long. One thing we know here at the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series, these guys, once they get in these long runs, they know how to run it clean. And there is no guarantee that you'll get a caution. That's why they were fighting so hard for that track position early. As we see the 74 of Austin Fitzgerald trying to dive to the inside of Dave Sanders. Hometown Las Vegas, ADS Racing is the team. And the 46 right now, Cody Richardson. We saw him working pretty well last week with the 51. I'm not sure exactly where the 51's run right now. We'll see if we can find him. May not be in the race this week. It did not notice it. 51, maybe just missing something. Either way, though, Alan Bajari is still heating up the back bumper of Joshua Watson. These two not really making that separation from the rest of the field just yet. And that outside line's still working right now, but we're only 11 laps in. These tires, while they are starting to feel it, everybody's still running pretty fast. And I'll tell you what, let's take a look at the lap times to see if these guys have really started falling off just yet. The best way to look at it right there, you see a 40.4 and a 40.3 difference in between 4 laps ago and this last lap. So they're not really falling off in terms of speed just yet. We'll watch that as the run goes on, but let's take a look at some of the speeds these guys get up to on the front stretch. Auto Club, a pretty fast track. We saw down in the mid-160s in the corner. And Alan Pajari is going to get on the bumper, and they're going to pick up a lot of speed down the front as they dive all the way down into turn 1, 196 just about. And that is closest to just as fast as we were getting up to in Daytona last week, if not a little more. Difference is you can't full send it into the corner here like you could at Daytona. If you don't let off the throttle, you are going to be struggling. Let's take a ride on board with somebody mid-pack here who's riding in that dirty air. And let's ride on board here with Wes Hurd Jr. See what kind of throttle control he has to use here. This bumpy 2-mile D-shaped oval. Here we go. Tell you what, I don't know if you can quite hear it, but we heard it more in turns 3 and 4. We'll see if we can get it this time, but you'll hear the tires actually scrubbing, and as a driver, the more you hear that, the more tire you're burning, so he'll have to back it off. Sure enough, this time gets in a lot easier. You also see they're staying in 5th gear right now. We'll see if shifting becomes a factor late in this race. And how about the 21, Cody James getting a big run on the outside, trying to get to the outside of the 48. Tyler Marble is not going to be able to make it happen that time. But Cody James finding something on this top lane early, and he is trying to make his way to the front. The top lane does seem to wear your tires out a little bit more because you can run more speed on it. But that could flip-flop as the run goes on. These guys are still laying rubber on the track. This track is going to be changing, but the best view in the house right now is going to still stick with Joshua Watson in the 01 machine. He's got clean air on top of still pretty good tires. And as it continues to go on, he is going to try to stretch it out. But here comes Carl Dotson in the 29. Haven't really mentioned Carl too much, but here he is, up 16 spots from where he started, and whatever setup is currently under the hood of that 29 machine. It is blazing fast behind him. Here comes the 9, Nicholas Isaacs, and we might see a change to the lead. Two of the differing strategies that we see is the strategy that Joshua Watson played right from the start, and that's try to get yourself out in front, get the clean air, and hope you can run with it and run away with it. The other strategy we see is some of these guys will let everybody go by on the restart. They'll run around here nice and slow, nice and smooth, really conserve those tires. And then once the run starts to stretch out, you'll see what we're seeing here from Carl Dotson all of a sudden tracking down the leaders. And I really want to look here at Carl's lap times because, boy, he got up here in a hurry. 40.673. I mean, yeah, you see the lap times are really starting to fall off. 40.2 4 laps ago, now 40.6. But if you compare that to Joshua Watson, you see the difference right there. Was running a lot faster 3 laps ago. And here we go. He's going to try to make a contend for the lead. All he needs to do is get to the quarter panel. He could get a side draft, and that might be all he needs. Not going to be able to do it this time down the backstretch. Tuck's back in line behind the 01. And the 29 seems to be the best car right now, especially on that low lane. See if anybody can really start getting the wall ripping like we saw in the race in real life. We've seen a couple guys try to make it work. One of those was Cody James, and he is still trying to crawl his way up here. Not making as much progress as he's hoping. Only up 5 spots. Nonetheless, very impressive. But Andrew Kotska up 13 spots in that 47 machine. Joe Musso back here in 22nd, down 2 spots. How about Scott Glasso, though, up 13 and 23rd right now. One of your biggest movers. And I'll tell you what, 17 of 100 laps in. Let's do an Auto Club crank it up one last time here in Fontana. Oh, and I do apologize for cutting that off. We had one. It looked like it was going across the grass. Couldn't tell if they saved it or not. On the front stretch. Wasn't sure exactly what that was. Let's back this up real quick. See if we can get a quick view of what just happened right there. You saw it right as we were just trying to go to NASCAR side-by-side. And we are pulling it up real quick, and then we will, of course, show you watching. And I'm currently looking as well to try to figure out exactly who this is going to start with. Somewhere, here we go. It's going to be the 91, it looks like. And he was with Sean Kaltenbach. Oh, it looks like there's already contact here with these two. We'll back this up just a little more. And here we go. Let's watch it slow here. Looks like the 2 is thinking about making a move. Oh, the 25 actually gets up in the wall pretty hard. And this is going to cause the 2 to dive down. Tires are a little slick. Goes a little bit more to the left than he was hoping. That sends him down to the 91. Thankfully, they missed the 25. Otherwise, this would have been a bigger mess. The 2 is up into the wall, though. The 91 is going to sandwich him. And they are going to separate. Unfortunately, it looks like Sean Kaltenbach maybe got the worst of this ordeal. We'll see if that car still runs pretty fast with the damage or not. It's a nice 4-wide move there by the 27. Let's go back live, though, up front. Joshua Watson still leading Carl Dotson. Carl's not giving it up on the bottom. Alan Pajari, though, has found it working on the top again, followed by Tyler Marble. The 9 car of Nicholas Isaacs is currently rounding out the top 5. And we'll pull up the track map again here for you just to show you just how quickly this field is starting to spread out. Pack not as tight as we saw at Daytona by any means. Looks like Jeffrey Souza has found his way out on track. Unfortunately for him, he has multiple laps down. And I don't think with a 100-lap race, already 20 laps in, there's going to be any way he's going to be able to get himself 17 laps down. But good to see him out here anyway. You can always practice, learn it a little bit, try to get yourself some momentum in any way possible. Andy Tico, currently not gone a lap down, but the field continues to track him down. He is sitting at about 25 seconds, I meant, behind the main pack. So he's going to have to figure out how to get a little faster soon or hope pit stops, caution, anything. The 64 Glenn Grigsby also running by himself. And at the back of the pack right now is going to be Patrick Steen, Cody Matthews, Matthew Gearinger. Kyle Oakley is trying to ride that top lane. Brian Curry not having a good night right now, down 20 spots from where he started. Sean Kaltenbach, after that contact, has fallen 19 spots as well. But there are battles all over the track, and this is what we love, and it's been so iconic about Auto Club for all the years that NASCAR's been coming here. These next gens haven't disappointed here. It's a shame to see it being turned into a short track, but you see just as good of racing as we saw on the big oval. Guys were able to go 4 or 5 wide, and if we got a late restart, I think all of a sudden that 5 wide would be a lot more seated, potentially a lot more. And 1 second here. We're going to go to Jeffrey Souza. And this is what I want to show you right here. Here we go. If we look at the 96, Jeffrey Souza, watch how much more speed he's running. You see him flying right around the 01 of Joshua Watson. And I'll tell you why that is. He's got fresh tires, being 17 laps down. He just got out here. And I know you guys are saying, okay, well, who cares? He's a lap car. Well, here's the thing about that. These guys are taking note of that. That lap car just flew by them on new tires. That's going to show you just how big of a role these new tires are going to be. I mean, he is absolutely gapping the 01. And you are not going to pit here and try to take anything but 4 tires. As we see Tyler Marble now gets a draft down the front. We'll see if he can try to do anything with it. Alan Pajari has fallen back a little bit. And right now it is a little bit of a 2-car breakaway between Tyler and Joshua. Down the back stretch, 24 laps completed so far, so we are just about a quarter ways through this race. Boy, it is flying. Ryan Shiro currently sitting 3 wide. The 27 of Jeff Shutt, the 22 of Scott Naslin. Scott's having a strong run right now. One of the drivers who kind of showed up just before the season start. Drives on Hyperforce Esports out of Lake Camelot, Illinois. And he has found something. He's got to be careful. The 21 is going to jump to his outside. That's Cody James. Cody's still continuing to improve his position, up 3 more spots from when we last checked on him. And pit stops are going to be key, because if you have a good long run car, you get in pit road clean and out. you may find yourself near the front at the end of it. Kyle Oakley still currently in 32nd. Brian Curry, Cody Matthews. These guys all going to need a caution if they want any chance of getting back up here. And this is where sometimes you really can get separated by who has the better setup. Everybody makes their own setups, or at least has their own setups here at FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series, presented by the Alloy Wheel Repair Specialist. So you got to remember, just because one car is handling good, you might say, well, why can't that guy do the same thing? It's because these cars aren't all meant to drive the same. Some of these guys might have their setups looser, tighter, maybe meant to go faster in the long run, faster in the short run. Just depends. Everybody has a different driving style. Let's take a ride on board with your leader here. Rocks on the backstretch, and you'll see some of the bumps actually. Let's go to his roll bar. You see it here. Look at this car go up and down. It's a very bumpy track on the backstretch. These next gens seem to just amplify that even more. The drivers are definitely feeling it down the backstretch. Sometimes you got to be careful on old tires trying to make a move out of turn 4. Even though you're on the straightaway and it feels like you got a lot of grip, you don't necessarily have as much grip as you think, as we're going to have a battle here for the lead, the 48. Tyler Marble jumps to the inside. We'll see if he tries the slide job. The 01, Joshua Watson, pins him down on entry so he can't think about it. And that was a really veteran move there from Joshua Watson. But it's not looking like it's going to matter. That 48 just has a lot of speed right now in the middle lane. And look how much they are pulling away from the pack even while racing. They got to be careful if they race a little too much. All of a sudden, the rest of the pack will start running them down. These cars stall out quite a bit when you get side by side. Joshua Watson for JBR E-Racing. Let's get a quick update on how JBR E-Racing is doing, at least some of their drivers that we can see. We know that, unfortunately, Danny Gutierrez, last week's winner, is not here this week. Brian Watson, another JBR E-Racing driver, is currently 17th, and Richard Elliott, the third of the 4, is currently running 25th, so not quite as strong of a week so far as what they were having at Daytona. But either way, they got a car out in the lead, and that means somebody had the right setup. Joshua Watson driving away with it. More battles we got here throughout the pack. It looks like these guys really doing everything they can to not wear out the tires up front, but back here, tires don't seem to be an issue because they are dicing it up. How about the 12 of Wes Hurd Jr.? I like that paint scheme a lot. Nice red, black, and yellow colors mixed together good. Adrian Watts in the chat. This is from earlier, and I forgot to say it. I do apologize. Says, let's go JBR. Right now, it seems like the team to root for is there running up front. Jacob Musso. Musso speed shot, getting a run off the bumper of Brian Watson. We'll see if he decides to go anywhere with it or if it's just going to stay tucked in line. And you really saw it right there, just how much these cars poured this down the backstretch. And I'll tell you what, we didn't quite get a chance earlier because we almost had what was going to have been our first caution of the night. But now that everybody's kind of spread out and got settled down, let's do an Auto Club crank it up. Here we go. And that is going to do it for tonight's segment of Crank It Up. I hope everybody did enjoy that. Got some good views there. Really showed you the action, but we've had a lead change up front, at least for the second. It's going to be the 48 of Tyler Marble, but they are almost bumping doors as Joshua Watson is not going to have any of that. Dives back down low, and it's really cool to see these guys still able to battle this hard on 33-lap old tires, because if you look at the lap times, I mean, look at it has fallen off by over a second from when we dropped the green. Tyler Marble's going to try to give it right back. Jumps to the inside. The 01's trying to side drive. If he can just hang it, he can't. Tyler Marble takes the lead. The 01's going to try the crossover on him, though. And this shows you just how wide this track is. Looks like they still could fit about 4 more between them. The 01 almost got clear, couldn't quite. The 48's got a big run down the backstretch. And Tyler Marble is your new leader. He's going to try to pull away. Team Marble iRacing showing a lot of strength here in the early going for Auto Club. But Joshua Watson is not going to give it up easily. Oh, he's going to try the slide job right in front of the 48. Tyler Marble is just going to push. I thought maybe he'd try to get down and get a side draft. He couldn't quite do it, though. Joshua Watson putting on a show here for the fans, trying to keep it up, exciting up front. A lot of people on the track. Oh, here we go. We're going to see some pit stops here. Jeff Schutzen, a couple more of them. Looks like Wes Hurd Jr., Scott Naslin, Jared Bundy, Patrick Stein. A lot of drivers decide to come in now. I'm a little bit surprised about this. This would almost make me think they'd have to pit twice. But I'm not sure if that's true, as we see Dave Sanders getting back up to speed on the track. Right in front of him, Glenn Grigsby. A couple other drivers, 25, that's Tracy Powers. Let's see if these leaders are thinking about pitting anytime soon. Looks like we do have a couple more in, so this is probably indicative of pit stops throughout the whole field coming shortly, as Alan Pajari has made his way down pit road. Behind him is, looks like, Brian Conklin in the 37. And this is a lot earlier than I expected to see. This is when these guys are probably either in a fuel window where they feel comfortable making it on 2. And I think with just how much tires are going to play a factor here, even if you can make it on 1 stop of fuel, you're really going to want those tires. And I think that might be why we are seeing some of these guys pit so early. That way they can pit twice, get into advantage. Remember, when you short pit, you're going to be out there earlier on those fresher tires. That gives you a chance to catch up, maybe even pass these leaders if you are in that top 5. We'll see how it all pans out. But up front, it is still Joshua Watson and Tyler Marble. Third is going to be Carl Dotson. Fourth, Jacob Musso. And rounding out the top 5 is going to be Brian Watson in the 04. Let's look at the track map here, as it is starting to look, I don't know, I just really like to say it, because it seems like a lot of these tracks at like points like this, turn 3 really the only, turn 4 actually, the only empty place on the track right now. Everywhere else looks like we're at Bristol or Martinsville, because there's just no room. Here we go. Tyler Marble's going to pit. This is going to get interesting, because he was second, running right on the bumper of your leader, Joshua Watson. And by pitting a lap early, I do think he'll take the lead. Question is, will he be able to hold it? Carl Dotson, Jacob Musso, who is currently up 17 spots in the 95. Alan Pajari trying to work his way around him, and you see the effect of new tires. Just made a move to the inside and the outside, all in one corner. Will Joshua Watson now think about coming in this time? I do apologize for the slight butchering of some of the names. We pretty much got everybody's name down now, but still sometimes, for some reason, just hard to say it, I guess. Brian Watson running back here in the top 5 now. Bill Benedict still out. And the field kind of at an inversion right now, as we see Bill Benedict almost got up into the wall there. It looked like Jeffrey Souza, 16 laps right now down, so he has gotten one of those laps back. 16 more to go. He might have a chance at it. Dave Sanders. How about Ryan Haynes? Haven't talked about Ryan tonight. Not the best night right now. Started in 32nd. That's where he currently runs. The driver of Center Hill, Florida, is looking for something to go his way right now, but it's just not the case. Scott Naslin, who we saw up front, currently in 29th. He has pit, though. Scott Glasso, Cody James, Wes Hurd Jr., Austin Fitzgerald. Joshua Watson, here we go. He has pit in the 01, and we're going to have to watch from the pit lane cam here to see when Tyler Marble comes around here in the 48. Look for a blue and white car. You'll probably see it somewhere around the time that the 01 is getting ready to come out of the pits. Not that one. That is going to be one of the Musos that you see going by right there. But I'll let you know when we see him. But that is going to be the race for the lead right now. No sign of the 48 just yet. Waiting to see him flying down the front stretch. I think this might be him. He's got a head of steam. Sure enough, it is just crossed the start-finish line. The race is on. Here we go. Can the 01 get up to speed in time? There goes the 48. Tyler Marble flies right around, and he is going to have a huge gap on Joshua Watson. Will the new tires equal out before he can catch up, or is it going to carry him all the way to the front and make that 01 more of a rocket ship than it already is? The rest of the field still cycling through the pits. And it looks like, I'm trying to figure out who this is down here. Again, we still have a couple new guys. Wasn't able to quite figure it out right there. Johnny McCallcheck currently running 31st, down 18 spots from where he started. Cody Richardson in the 46, down 9 spots from where he started. Well, let's go see the battle up front. Carl Dotson, Jacob Musso, first and second. Bill Benedict, third. Todd Shiro, fourth. Cody Graham currently rounding out the top 5. But we are looking for your battle for the lead. Jeff Marble right now is behind Tyler Marble. But you see Alan Pajari and then Joshua Watson lurking back here. We'll see just how long before he gets back up here. Let's check out the speeds he can run now on these fresh Goodyears. Looks like he's able to run a little bit faster than the last time we checked in. High 160s down in the corner. Let's see if he can get up to down the front with the draft off a couple cars in front of him. He is going to dive it low. You will see it almost looks like a giant snake down the front, sometimes down the back as well. That is these guys all trying desperately to break each other's draft. Joshua Watson is on the move right now. We'll see if he can catch up. Let's go up front, give some TV time to the leaders right now. That is probably why they're out here. Of course, they might be trying a different strategy, but Jacob Musso is leading the way. Driver out of Caddo, New York. One of the Musso Speed Shop drivers. And I'll tell you what, if you ever have any trouble trying to figure out who's on the Musso Speed Shop team, they all have the same looking car. Maybe get you a little confused, but good looking trio of cars. Now Bill Benedict running second. Carl Dotson third. You see them getting passed by a lot of these guys. Already took tires. Who the 29 looks like maybe slipped up a little bit there. This is what happens when you pit early. Sometimes it'll work out, sometimes it doesn't. Of course, Jacob Musso, don't believe his pit yet. No, sure enough, has not. So we are still waiting to see quite a few of these guys up front pit as we are starting to approach the halfway mark. Alan Pajari, Joshua Watson has closed the gap on Alan Pajari, Jeff Marble, Kyle Oakley. But you know who they haven't closed the gap on is Tyler Marble, who is still pulling away, using the lap traffic to his advantage to get as far out in front as he can. He goes by the 10 of Cody Matthews. Cody currently in 10th, up 24 spots from where he started, so that's a good run for the 10 machine right now. SWM Motorsports driver. Looks like it says Motorsport. We'll have to fix that before next race. Jacob Musso still leading, no sign of pitting yet. Bill Benedict the same way. Carl Dotson, we saw him kind of start out just where he was, all of a sudden made a big charge to the front out of nowhere. And now he's kind of fallen back a little bit, so not sure if the balance of that car is maybe starting to fall off or what. Good thing about open setups, these guys can make more adjustments than you can on fixed setups when they come into the pits. I'm talking things from brake bias, anything. I think they can even maybe play with the shock settings a little bit. Of course, track, I believe it's not, they can't do tape anymore like they used to. It does take away a little bit, but we're going to see 3 wide here. Are they thinking about 4 wide? No. It got really close, but it looks like Glenn Grigsby is going to tuck in behind Bill Benedict, thinks wisely of it. And here we go. Now we're going to see some of those guys pit that we're staying out. Jacob Musso has come into the pit. So is Todd Shiro. Joe Musso currently in 6th. Looks like he is going to pass Jacob for now. 4 tires filled up with fuel. Get ready for the next pit stop. And seeing how far Jacob made it right there kind of piques my interest to see if maybe, just maybe, Carl Dotson or Bill Benedict could somehow make this a one-stopper. Again, I'm not 100% sure on the fuel window. All we know is that they have 100% fuel. If they were able to go 40-ish laps at Daytona, this track a little bit smaller, you would think it'd be somewhere between 40 and 50. They are not wide open the whole time either. That plays into a little bit as well. Jeff Marble has overtaken Tyler Marble, so those tires must have started to fall off because so is Joshua Watson. Alan Pajari currently trying to do the same in the 34. He's going to have a little bit more work to do, though. Dynamic Auto Sports driver out of Leander, Texas. Jeffrey Souza up top, currently multiple laps down, and it looks like right now, again, pit stops haven't quite all cycled out. If we were going to caution right now, this would hurt a lot of guys because a lot of them are currently a lap down, and you can see it on your scoring tower. Watch next time it gets down into the 20th position. You see we only have 27 cars on the lead lap. Remember, 38 started, 39 currently running. That was because Jeffrey Souza was not able to quite make the start. Carl Dotson, though, is going to try to lead it at the halfway mark. Sean Kaltenbach going to go by him now, trying to get one of his laps back. How long do you stay out if your strategy doesn't work out? All you've really done is made yourself lose a lot more time on the leaders. Everybody's cars looking like they've handled a lot better than I thought they would tonight. Auto Club, a very beat up surface. You see how bumpy it is down the backstretch. And that doesn't get any sweeter in the turns. It's still pretty rough. And these guys were going from top to bottom, 3 wide in dirty air. These things burn up tires quick if you don't manage them right. So hats off to all the drivers out here doing a good job making sure they manage their tires wisely. And I'll tell you what, we're going to go to break real quick, but we will go Ghost Racing Network side by side so you won't miss a thing. We'll be right back. We are back live at Fontana, California at Auto Club Speedway. You didn't quite get to see the wreck during our side-by-side, but we just had it right as we were coming back from break. Brian Conklin has had an issue. Looks like Wes Hurd Jr. may have also been involved This is going to shake up the strategy quite a bit for all these guys, but let's take a look at what brings out your first caution. Looks like the 37 did hit the toe button. Take a look from the blimp cam first. Looks like they're 3 wide. Oh, this is going to start with the 91 and the 4. Make contact, sends him right up into the 37 of Brian Conklin. Around he goes and backs that thing into the wall. Looks like the 91 was able to squeak by after that. And we are now going to look for Westherd Jr. because it looks like he's going to... Oh, there he is up top. Looks like the 47, Andrew Kotska, gets in, and while they're trying to slow down, that sends the 12 up. Austin Fitzgerald, oh man, how does he sneak by? But unfortunately with that, the 12 gets into the 37 of Brian Conklin. And that might have created even more terminal damage. See this from TV1. TV2 here, actually. Watch him get... 91 gets down into the 4, up in the 37. Boom, backs that thing into the wall. He's got it locked down, doing a nice job, but unfortunately sometimes just hard to miss. That's a pretty big shot into the side, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, you see it right here. Look at that left rear wheel not spinning. He's got a major suspension issue in the rear of that 37 machine. That's why he towed it. His night is going to be over after that. And you hear it right here. He's testing the gears. He's going to realize it's just not going. His night's done. Having a good run too. That is not what we wanted to see for the 37. Let's take one more view at it here. You see the 91s coming down the track a little bit. It's going to make just slight contact. Boom, right there. Man, tough break for the 12 of Westherd Jr. Looked like he was probably going to get through. Looks like another guy may have made contact right there. That might have been Ryan Watson. Couldn't 100% tell. Either way, though, right now looking like the 2 guys with the worst fortune out of it is going to be Brian Conklin and Westherd Jr. We'll check on him in just a minute, but let's go up front and check on your top 5. I'm telling you what, I think the strategy played out nicely for Carl Dotson because he is your current leader. Joshua Watson 2nd, Tyler Marble 3rd, Andrew Nieder is going to be 4th, and that was good caution timing for him because he was just getting passed by who was your current leader for a minute, Joshua Watson. Jeff Marble rounding out the top 5. Got Nicholas Isaacs, though. New driver tonight. Let's give him a shout out. Here he is running inside the top 10, just outside the top 5. And let's see how Brian Conklin, yeah, you see it there. That thing is done. His night over. Looks like Westherd Jr. has also parked it on pit road. Nick Kitchie, Jeffrey Souza, all guys that are still multiple laps down. However, with this restart, everybody should still have their 2 sets of tires. I gotta think everybody was going to come down to get a new set. So we'll see how things pan out. See if a couple of these guys get the wave around. Don't know whether they will, though, with Carl Dotson not pitting. And we're still waiting to find out. Looks like the 2 Sean Kaltenbach's going to drop to the apron. Let's get to the point, though. Yep, there they go. They're falling back for now, so I don't think they're going to be able to get the lucky dog off this. Remember, all the leaders have to pit in order to get that lucky dog, but we saw an aggressive restart for the initial green of the race. These guys now know this might just be their last chance to get in track position. And you are going to need those tires in the long run. If you can get clean air, those tires will last a lot longer. As hard as we saw Joshua Watson fighting for it last time, Carl Dotson's car came alive about middle of the run. We'll see if it can be a little faster for him this time in the short run. Did anybody make the right adjustments on pit road? I wouldn't say that was necessarily the money stop, but it may have been. Either way, it's gonna be 43 laps to go when we go green here from Auto Club. And if you're just tuning in, get comfortable, get situated. These guys are gonna be going crazy. We saw 3 and 4 wide on the first restart. It's gonna be no different right here. Pace car getting ready to pull off the track. Carl Dotson, Joshua Watson, Tyler Marble, Andrew Nieder, Jeff Marble, Nicholas Isaacs into the Geico restart zone. We go green flag back out at Auto Club. Pretty good restart of just about the whole field, side by side into turn 1. Carl Dotson maybe thought he'd scoot away before we got here, wasn't able to. And that is going to give Joshua Watson the advantage if he gets stick in front. The 29 is going to try a slide job. It looks like he sticks it too, but the 01's got to run. Will Joshua Watson take it? He's really going to just push. Here he goes now. He ducks down to the inside. Into turn 3, the 01, the 29, side by side. Carl Dotson gonna try to run it down on the door of Joshua. Can he hold him? Remember, if you're on the outside, you'll get a big run down the front and back stretch. It looks like he was able to hold him off. And now the 01 is gonna try to pull into the draft of the 29. Wow, I'm surprised he stayed as close as he did. He's got another shot at making a move, but he's not going to. Will Carl Dotson try to block his line, goes low, the 01 goes high. And you see the chaos that's ensuing behind them. Everybody fighting for every position on the track right now. Alan Pajari falling back just a spot or two right now. Tyler Marble will see if his car comes alive like it did in that last run late in the going here. Carl Dotson trying to pull away. Cody James at the 21 in ninth. He had a strong run but was pretty far back. Now he's further up. We'll see if he can get all the way to lead. We are looking all the way throughout the field, and you see just how many cars there still are on track here at Auto Club. Carl Dotson trying to pull away. He's got to be careful here. He looks like he has a pretty good gap. Don't want to overdo it here and smoke the tires. Gonna have to make them last if we were to go green potentially for these next 40 laps, depending on what your strategy is. Looks like everybody's starting to slowly organize. The more these guys get single file, the more desperate you're going to need to get if you're further back. You can make up a lot of positions when everyone is side by side and stalled out. Once they get single file, it gets a lot harder to pass each position you get to. As you get closer, the cars get more and more competitive. You just can't make up the ground like you could at the start. We did put up a poll that said, will JBR E-Racing go back-to-back? Looks like 100% of you who voted said yes. Of course, we did only get one vote. Carl Dotson is a Power Esports driver. He's looking to make an upset here for some of these JBR E-Racing drivers. Nicholas Isaacs is up to third in the 9 machine, maybe looking to make a move on the 01. Behind him is Andrew Nieder. Alan Pajari up to 5th. Scott Glasso in the 4, going to try to go around his outside. Scott was actually the car that we saw the 91 get into. Good to see. Doesn't have a lot of damage and is still out here very competitive. It is no fast repairs. And if you didn't know that, you could tell by Brian Conklin and Wessler Jr. having to retire from was maybe not one of the worst wrecks we've seen, but a wreck that took him out. Oh no, something happened to Carl Dotson here. I just noticed it as I'm looking at the data. Oh boy, he has fallen back multiple positions. Let's see if maybe he got a little loose up into the wall, maybe had to burp out of the throttle all of a sudden. He was your leader right before all this. Here we go. Let's see what happens. The driver of the 29. Here we go. You see the 01's getting a big run down the front stretch. He's going to take it. Jumps to the inside. So far, so good it looks like here. And I'm not really sure if the 29 just really missed the corner or what. But it looks like, 4 or 5 cars just absolutely blew by him. That is going to move Carl Dotson all the way back now to 7th. And your new leader is Joshua Watson. He's got Andrew Neidhart and Nicholas Isaacs close on his tail. Scott Glasso trying to make a move around the outside. I thought the outside would maybe be a little faster overall tonight. It's had its runs, as we see one right there from the 4, Scott Glasso. Boy, that got a little close with the 9, and these guys snaking around. Looks like a couple of Indy cars at the Indy 500. Everybody trying to break each other's draft. If you can get away from that car behind you early, that's when you want to make the gap. Late in the run, the less cars you have in your draft, the better. When those tires are really hurting, you can pull away from the rest of the field if they don't have your draft being out in clean air. Only one caution so far here tonight, and if you are just tuning in, you are watching the Green Ghost on Ghost Racing Network. We are broadcasting the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series presented by the Alloy Wheel Repair Specialist. It's race 2 of the season here at Fontana Auto Club, California. 63 of 100 laps in. Joshua Watson been pretty much the most dominant car all night so far. We've seen a couple surprise leaders. Carl Dotson was looking good on this last restart. Fortunately, not too sure exactly what happened to him, but he has fallen back, and it looks like he's trying to recover a little bit, still sitting in 7th, which is where he fell to after that move. And you see just how bumpy it is down the backstretch, as I had heard someone get into the wall. That's why I mentioned it. Looks like Wessler Jr. has actually returned back out on track, and unfortunately for him, multiple laps down, just out here trying to get a little bit of points on some of the competition if he can. Joe Owen wasn't able to start the race. Brian Curry, Jeffrey Souza is back out. Brian Curry is off track. Jeffrey Souza, who didn't start the race, did make it out. And look at that, he's gained a couple spots. That's the importance of getting out here, even if your race didn't go as you initially planned. And if Western Jr. wouldn't have came back out on the track, that may have been another position for Jeffrey Souza. The current top 5 as it runs: Joshua Watson first, Andrew Neidhart second, Scott Glasso third, Nicholas Isaacs fourth, and Alan Pajari inside the top 5. 35 laps to go here at Auto Club. It's been a good one so far. That one caution was for a 3-car incident. 2 cars were the only ones that got damaged from it. And will we see another restart? Will we see another pit stop? Does everybody have a set of tires left if they need them? Let's see how bumpy it is down the backstretch here if we can. Camera angle here. See it. Goes over the bump. You see it jump. You see the car behind him jumping around as well. Very abrasive, very old track. Call it the driver's track though. You see why right here. If you're looking out the back, you see those guys 3 wide, top, middle, bottom lane, wherever you want to go, you can do it here at Auto Club. Turn 3 at Auto Club. We haven't seen it tonight. Doesn't seem to work too well in iRacing, but if they want, they can go below the white line. Sometimes you can find a little extra grip. If you're trying to slide job, you can dive down there. The car can hold it. On new tires, doesn't seem like anybody's comfortable enough though to do it here late. We still see Cody James on that top lane. That's where he's been most of the night. Got himself up to 7th, but not really able to make any more progress forwards or backwards, that is. Scott Glasso still trying the top lane, and he is going to get a little bit of run here down the front. We'll see if he decides to make a move on the 34. Not quite enough, but he is going to try to get the 34 and push up to the 01. Hardest thing about this is each one of these guys, they get a run, they want to make a move, but they know if it doesn't work out, what happened to Carl Dotson's going to happen to them, and they will fall back 5, 6, maybe even 7 spots. That is not what you want to have happen, but it certainly can with just one wrong maneuver. Tyler Marvel's starting to creep back up into the picture. We saw he had a strong car in the long run last go before the caution. He's got his teammate Jeff Marvel just behind him in the 15, currently 3 wide with Tracy Powers in the 9 of Nicholas Isaacs, and wow, makes it work through the middle, trying to find any gap he can. He's going to get a draft off his teammate Joshua Watson to the low side, trying to break up that draft. The 34 follows it. Battle for 20th right now. Heating up a little bit here. Ryan Haynes, Cody Richardson, Todd Shiro. I tell you what, I really like that paint scheme on the 3 this week. The Goodwrench Dale Earnhardt classic looking paint scheme. Johnny McCulchuk's had a pretty good recovery. He has now found himself inside the top 20 in the 72. Todd Shiro really trying to dice around all these guys. You saw him on the top lane. Now he's going to go to the bottom. In front of him is the 74 of Austin Fitzgerald. Cody Richardson had a pretty good week last week at Daytona, at least throughout the race. Not going quite as good so far this week, but he still has time to recover with 30 laps left. And this is going to go as a long run. We're not quite into that part yet where we're really going to start to see who has the best setup prevail. But slowly and surely you're starting to see this pack maybe spread out just a little bit. And overall, it kind of looks like 2 packs spread out. You see it there, the lead pack entering 3, and then you have a gap, and then you have that second big pack after that. Kind of have the scrappers, a couple of the guys not having the best day, either have damage or the car's just not handling the way they want it to. Tyler Marble drops down the apron, is going to slide right back up in front of his teammate. And Bryce lets us know the logos aren't rotating, and I'll tell you what, just before you wrote that, Bryce, I had just noticed that, but thank you for telling me about that. 01, Joshua Watson still holding strong on the lead. Andrew Neidhart, I'll tell you what, we did not see him at all earlier. It looked like he maybe tried a little strategy play. The caution came out at the right time for him, and since then, he has been able to stay up here and stay in contention with the leaders. Andrew, one of the current drivers that doesn't have a team. That's why you don't see any team name, but rather just says Ghost Racing Network up there on the top. And real quick, while these guys are single file, before we get all the way to the end of this race, I'm going to show everybody something. We'll talk about the points and the schedule real quick. Make sure we stay side by side, of course, so you don't miss anything important, but here we go. Coming up next week, we are going to continue the West Coast swing in Las Vegas. That track, another one that has multi-groups racing, not quite as wide as this track, maybe not quite as fast either, but it's going to be a good one for sure. Then we head to a short track, Phoenix, and then it's to the new Super Speedway, Atlanta. It's going to be a very interesting track. Drives like Daytona and Talladega, but only a mile and a half, so we'll see how it goes after that. You see we got a bunch more Texas, Richmond, Bristol, Martinsville, and then we go back to Talladega for the second of the Noble 5 races, Dover and Kansas. And that is all the way in May, it looks like. Danny Gutierrez, last week's winner, currently leading in points. That will probably change after this race. Joshua Watson second, leading right now. He's looking for a good points day. Richard Elliott has not had a great run so far. Currently sitting in 14th, so not bad, but definitely going to fall in points as it stands. Same thing for Cody Richardson. Dave Sanders, Scott Naisland, they're going to try to move up the chart. Jeff Marble having a solid run. So is Alan Pajari, who is currently rounding out the top 10 in points. Let's bring it back live as we are continuing to tick the laps down here at Auto Club. It is going to be 25 laps to go next time. If we were to get a caution at any point right now, all these guys are coming down pit road. But look who is back up here, Tyler Marble. And I think he was maybe sitting back there saving his tires. It didn't look like that car fired off so well. But he has quickly made his way back up here, fighting back in contention with Joshua Watson. These two were the main battle of that first stint before the caution came out. It looked like Tyler Marble prevailed for a minute, but then Joshua Watson was fighting hard back, managed to take it back. Tyler pitted early, got the advantage for it looked like a little while. I thought the strategy would work out for him. Then all of a sudden, things flip-flopped around. Tyler fell back quite a few spots. Joshua Watson took over. And how about Jeff Marble? Boy, he is having a good day. Made his way up here. And he is looking to get a little bit more. He's got to get 2 more spots if he wants to get the lead. Andrew Neidhart. Alan Pajari has been in the top 5, top 10 just about the whole day. And right now, I'll tell you what, JBR E-Racing maybe feeling a little bit threatened as they have 2 Team Marble iRacing drivers behind them. You got to think the 15 and the 48 are going to try to work together right now, but at a certain point, if one of those cars seems to be faster than the other, they might have to communicate, say, hey man, you got to let me by here if we're going to catch him. 48's got another big draft though here. We'll see if he decides to take the run. He's on the bumper. Looks like he's just going to stay tucked in line. The 48's trying to work the bottom. The 15 goes up top, and the 1's going to go in the middle. Let's see how these runs pan out. Remember, as much as you might be good in that one lane, if the driver in front of you is in that lane, you're not going to be able to keep running it. That gets you in dirty air, takes some of the downforce off the front of these next gens, and you will just wear the tires out a lot quicker, and you won't be able to make it past that guy. But this time the 01 goes low, the 48 stays high, and I think he very well might get a big run down the front stretch right here. Here we go, the 48's trying to draft up. Looks like he's not quite going to be able to close the gap all the way this time. Sure enough, he does, but he's going to stay tucked in behind. I think he's just trying to put the pressure on the 01. Always made it a little bit more daunting when you have a guy right in your mirror. The closer he gets, maybe even give it a little bit of a bump to that 01. Let him know, hey man, I'm here. Don't mess up at all or I'm going to pounce. Alan Pajari moved up to 4th now. Andrew Neidhart has fallen to 5th. I think that 36 machine, while still fast, and he's having a solid day, is starting to fall off the pace just a little bit here. He is hoping these 24 laps can hurry up and go by. Nicholas Isaacs, Jeff Shutt, Andrew Kotska. We saw Andrew was actually, give me 1 second here before I misspeak on it. Andrew is, there we go, I was going to say Andrew, one of the drivers that I didn't realize was on Mad Sim Racing last week. Looked like he was just about to get a shot right there, but here we go, battle for the lead. The 48's got to the outside of the 01. All he needed was the quarter panel. He got it, got the side draft. The 01 trying to hang strong. Looks like Joshua Watson not going to tuck in line. He is going to stay low as they all dive into turn 3. 48, though, has the better lane right now. I think, ooh, you see him wiggle. He's getting loose. He knows it's go time. He really wants the clean air. He understands he might have to use up a little bit more tire than he wants right now. But he's willing to risk it because that's what it's going to take to get to the lead. And as these two stall each other out in the 15, Jeff Marble is saying, keep doing that, guys. I'll be up there shortly. You see him ripping the top, trying to get something going. To get the run, but Alan Pajari has caught this group pretty quick. We'll see if his car's got enough left in it to maybe get by all of them. We We are approaching the final 20 laps to go. Tracy Powers, pretty good recovery up to the top 10. This night's been up and down. Ryan Shiro, your pole sitter, down 11 spots from where he started, currently running just outside the top 10 in 12th. Cody James has fallen back up as well. Oh, he gets in the wall. He's out of the outside wall again. Oh, he might have major damage. Suspension down the track. Can he hold on to it? He's trying to. He spins it out across the grass. No caution is out, but the 21 sliding through the infield on the front stretch. Trying to get that thing back going on the track. He realizes there's no caution. And he is able to get it back going, but he may have a lot more damage. Right on board, see if this thing sounds okay. Looks like not driving too well. He may have terminal damage. He did tap the outside wall pretty good. Let's go back. Oh, this thing's still spinning. Oh, it spins back out on the track now. The 21 is around out of turn 2. Still no caution. And he gets it down onto the apron. Wow, I'm extremely surprised we didn't see a caution right there. Very dangerous when you have a car back up in the middle of traffic. Thankfully, there was no one around at the time. And let's see before we take a replay if he's going to be able to limp this thing back around or not. Sometimes something's broke. That car maybe not driving too well. At least I hope that's the case. As the leaders go by, so far so good. He's got to get a little farther on it here. And he is going to be able to limp that 21 Rockstar Energy machine back to pit road, but his night looking like it's going to be done. Let's go back and take a look. Looks like Scott Glasso may have had an incident as well here, so we'll take a look at this first. Off of turn 4. Ooh, the 22's just going to kind of punt him. Oh, wow. Sends the 4 across the grass. Does a really nice job of holding on to it here. Is able to get it back on track without any major damage. And then we saw what was happening with Cody James. Kind of as it initially happened here. Looks like maybe just gets loose. Oh, actually just runs out of room, gets up into the wall. Maybe makes some contact there with Carl Dodson, sends him back up into the wall, and then right here, coming back down the track, trying to hold on to it. Finally spins it out, down across the infield grass, across the AAA sign. This got a little bit more dicey right here. I thought we would see a caution because this isn't over yet. Gets it back up to speed. Not sure if this thing was damaged as bad as it maybe looks. It's right here out of turn 2. Trying to hold on to it. Touches the banking. It's going to spin it back out on track. Locks it up. Doesn't make any more contact with the outside wall. But I'll tell you what. You know what I didn't even notice here about Cody James? I see on that right rear quarter panel. If I can go to it here. There's Racing Network logo. That's enough for the replay. Let's go back live because the battle was heating up last time we saw. Joshua Watson has taken the lead back from Tyler Marble. Alan Pajari still 4th. And Jeff Marble running in 3rd, still looking for a podium finish. 17 laps to go. This is pretty much the race for the win right now between these top 4. They have separated themselves from the pack. Right now, Andrew Neidhart is rounding out the top 5. However, he is over 2 seconds back. We have not seen a lot of blocking between these top 4 so far, but we might see it as this race continues on. We are coming to 14 laps to go, and I did just realize a minute ago that my mic had muted again. I hope that wasn't multiple laps. Sometimes it's hard to tell. There's so many things going on in here. Just remember, guys, please let me know if you don't hear me talking for a couple laps. 14 laps to the left here at Auto Club. The 01, Joshua Watson leads Tyler Marble. Third is going to be Jeff Marble. Alan Pajari fourth. Rounding out the top 5 is Andrew Needard, who leads his second pack. Scott Naisland's trying to get past him. Jeff Shutt, Nicholas Isaacs. Jacob Musso leads that third line. Brian Conklin is a lap car. I thought he was done for today, but he is back out here still running. A lot of damage. It took quite a while for the team to repair that back left wheel after he got suspension damage in the incident, which drew our second caution of the night. Tyler Marble back on the bumper of the 01. Doesn't decide to drop low this time. He's going to stay high instead. And it looks like they are going higher and higher up the track as this run goes on. The 01 almost by the wall. We'll ride on board with him here on the right rear rather to see. You can see just how close he gets to this wall. It looks like in turns 3 he hasn't really been running high. These turns are different. You can get a little bit closer to the apron in turn 3 or even ride on the apron. You can't do that in 1 and 2. The apron's a little bit more abrupt. But as we make our way down into turn 1 and 2 after the long front stretch, just how close the 01 is willing to flirt with the wall. If you get into it, it'll suck you in. You won't be able to get out. A little bit of damage just late to run. You need all the aerodynamics you have, and you see it right here. Drifts up. Not quite to the top lane. We've seen guys running higher. As the run continues on, he may continue to get higher up the track. This top 4 have settled in, and they're going to have a heated battle once we get to the end of it. Currently looks like we do have 24 cars on the lead lap. Started with 38 cars on the lead lap. Of course, Jeff Souza and Joe, I believe it was Joe Owen. Yep, sure enough, one of the new drivers tonight wasn't able to make it out on track. Not sure why, but either way, Joe Owen's night never really started, so it didn't really have a chance to come to an end. Jeffrey Souza, though, got out, made sure he lost the lap, even though he is currently multiple handfuls of laps down. Alan Pajari drops below the 15. We'll see if he can make the pass for this 34 car is coming alive. And they're at the point now where they know one mistake, just the slightest scrub of the tires, and you are going backwards. They have broken away from anybody else, so these top 4 bearing no incident and no caution should remain your top 4. The question is, how are they going to sort out the top 4? Are we going to keep it as Joshua Watson finishing in first? I don't think so, because Tyler Marble has just continued to heat up the bumper of the 01. And I think he maybe is trying to save those tires and save that move for the last lap. Usually tracks like this, you want to be out in front. Maybe not the case. Alan Pajari, power move to the inside. He is trying really hard to get around the 15, Jeff Marble. Jeff is not making it easy for him by any means. And Alan Pajari was saving those tires. He tried and tried. He couldn't do it that time. We'll see if he thinks about trying it again or not. The bottom is really working well for the 34. But now he's going to try to maybe think about the top 15. Slams the door. Alan Pajari's got another run. Going to get a side draft here if he can down the front. Not able to get as much as he wants. Jeff Marble still in the draft. You see it pulls them both back, but it's not able to propel the 34 as forward as he'd like to be. The 48 drops low again, though. Lap traffic starting to play a little bit of a role. We'll see if this 31 plays as a pick or potentially helps Tyler Marble get around. He's going to try to actually pin the 01 up top. It is Matthew Gearinger that they're coming up on. Matthew not having the best run so far tonight. Still out here trying to make something happen on that top lane, but he is going to need a lot of help. Currently sitting 10 laps down, no chance. 01 and the 48 just continue to duel it out. I could not have told you at the beginning of this race that I thought we would have a 4-car battle for the lead, 40 plus laps into a run. That's been the case. Alan Pajari finally trying to get around the 15 Jeff Marble. I think he might be able to do it. He's got the preferred lane on the outside, sure enough. Looks like he's going to be able to clear him into turn 3. Jeff Marble maybe being a little bit conservative there, letting him by. Thinking if that 34 can somehow find a way to get up there and get really racy with this 01, it might help all their chances better. And And it may be a Hollywood ending for one of these drivers tonight as we are coming to 7 laps to go here at Auto Club Speedway. 2 cautions so far here tonight. 24 cars still on the lead lap. Got a couple guys involved in incidents, a couple spins that haven't brought out the caution. Besides that, the racing has been fantastic. It certainly did not disappoint for its farewell tour. Alan Pajari, boy, he really has something left in that 34 Mustang because he was almost able to go by the 48 on the bottom. You see, though, not being in that top lane, just how much momentum you lose on the straightaway. And I think on that last lap, maybe the 48, he's either going to try a dive bomb or try to stay as high up as he can, get a run for the front stretch. I'll tell you what, the side draft in these cars is pretty insane. And if you get right on the quarter panel at the right time, man, you can get that guy all out of shape, pull him way back. And one more time before we are getting ready to stick to your leaders here for the end. Give a shout out to some of these guys having a decent night in the top 15 and higher. Scott Glasser rounding out the top 15. Bill Benedict having a solid night. Brian Watson, JBR E-Racing, running 13th. Move up a couple spots. Richard Elliott, that's another JBR E-Racing driver. Nicholas Isaacs in his debut here. Really solid run. That is the driver for EPI. He is inside the top 10 in 9th. Scott Naslin doing a nice job. So is Jeff Shutt. Jacob Musso. This might be one of the most impressive runs of the day. Up 14 spots in 5th right now. And he has put the Musso Speed Shop boys on his back so far tonight. And he is going to have a good points day for sure. Top 4, though, have broken away. It is still Joshua Watson, Tyler Marble, Alan Pajari, and Jeff Marble. Jeff looks like he is trying something new. We'll see how well it works out for him. But Alan Pajari and the 15 both look like they're trying the lower lane. We've seen the 01 and the 48 trying the middle and top lanes a little bit more. But Joshua Watson is refusing to let anyone by right now. Tyler Marble still playing some mind games with him, I gotta believe, because he's had some runs, chosen not to take it. And it's important that you don't take every run. If you take every run, those tires are going to be gone when you really need them. Got to set up for the ones that are really going to count. And that's what he's done so far. Alan Pajari kind of done the same. Seemed like Pajari maybe saved his tires for a little bit longer than these guys. Had to use them up, trying to get around the 15 of Jeff Marble. And now, I don't know if he's going to quite have enough for the leaders. We'll have to find out. We take the white flag. No more cautions. And I think even though Joshua Watson's got a lot on his hands, that's one of the things he's hoping we can hurry up and get to, because the quicker we get to that white flag, less chance for a caution coming out. Everybody's tires really feeling it though right now. Oh, you see the 01 sliding around. Will the 48 get enough of a run off of it? Out in clean air, you'd think that'd be the best handling car, but it has not been an easy go so far for the 01. He has been trying to fend off this 48 machine just about the last 25, 30 laps. But he's going to have to do it for 3 more, because that's going to be the most important ones. Alan Pajari takes it 3 wide for a second, back to 2. This breaks up the momentum. I don't know if the 34 is going to be able to stick. It looks like he's not going to be able to. Jumps back in line behind the 48. And that is what Joshua Watson wants to see. The more these guys race, the more he can pull away. Up out of turn 4, Tyler Marble just looks. Oh, the 01, Joshua Watson gets into the wall. Tyler Marble checks up for him. Alan Pajari's going to go right by. It's getting really racy here. Will that damage affect the 01? Alan Pajari has a run. Is he going to take it? He does. Down to the inside goes to the 34. 2 laps left at Auto Club. And I don't know how bad that damage affects the 01. Alan Pajari trying everything to slide up in front. He's going to be able to. Can the 01 get a run to cross it up? Alan Pajari, the new leader. Joshua Watson get all the way to the back bumper. No move yet. He might think that car's got more damage than he likes, but he's going to ride the top lane. Sends it in. Tyler Marble gets below. He's going to try to get around the 01. Alan Pajari trying to create a little gap. The 48 slides right up in front of the 01, and I'll tell you what, I think Joshua Watson's night might be over for a chance at the win. White flag is out though one more time. Who's going to win at Auto Club? Into turn 1, Tyler Marble. I think he might be thinking about saving his move for the final turn. But here we go, he's going to get a side draft. Joshua Watson's going to try the slide job up in front. He can't make it stick. He gets into the 34. Alan Pajari holds on to it. What a save, but that puts the 48 back on the bumper. This is great racing on the last lap here at Auto Club. Final time, what can the 48 do? He's going to try to do the same move onto the apron. Can he make it stick? He's not. He's up the track. They make contact. Alan Pajari holds on to it again. Out of turn 4, he held off the momentum. And he's going to win it at Auto Club. Alan Pajari takes it home. Oh my goodness, that was one of the craziest last laps I've ever watched. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if I could have done another one because that was absolutely insane. Those guys were going crazy on the last lap. We are going to have to take a look at it. Holy cow, let's start with the white flag lap. It initially had started with, a little bit before this, Joshua Watson had hit the wall. Alan Pajari took advantage. And here we go, white flag lap is out. I thought at this point Joshua Watson was out of it, but Tyler Marble hung on the quarter panel. That gave the 01 just enough time to make a dive bomb move. He tried to get the slide job. Boy, he almost had it too. There he is on the bottom. Was able to get up in front of the 48. Couldn't quite get in front of the 34. Made some contact. They both hold on to it. Jeff Marble was even loose. And right here, Tyler Marble gave it everything he had getting down into turn 3. Wasn't quite enough though. Alan Pajari made sure he went low too, so that 48 didn't have enough of a chance to slide up in front of him. More contact right here. They hang onto it again somehow. And just like that, at the line, your race winner. It's going to be Alan Pajari in the 34. No teammates didn't need him. Shows you why right there. Back live. Let's see if the 34 is burning it down. Actually, it looks like maybe he just parked it. Normally, we're making sure he didn't do a burnout here so we don't accidentally forget anything for him. These guys want to do a burnout. We like to make sure that they get a chance to do it. There you go. He knew the 34 burned this thing down somewhere. We just had to find him. And while he does that, we're going to go get interviews from your top 3. We'll be right back. Stick with us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am here first with your third place finisher, Jeff Marble. Jeff, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Mr. Austin Green Ghost?
I'm good, man. Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know if I could have went another lap there commentating. That was so insane. You guys were absolutely dicing up that last lap. What was going through your head there? Did you think maybe you'd have a shot at it out of 4?
Man, when I seen Tyler do that last second desperation move out of there, I was like, oh my God, please don't take him out. Let's just race it to the checker, to the line and make a race out of it. And luckily they both saved it. And then I had Josh to the right of me, and I wanted to gas up sooner to kind of get to try and get a really big run, but he was up there already, and I was like, shit, I'll just take my P3 and go home happy. Man, what a run. That was so fun to be a part of.
That was an awesome race for sure. The FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series showing promise early. Before we let you go, though, tonight, is there anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah, but first, before I say my goodbyes, I want to give a shout out to Alan, Josh, my kid. What an epic battle there after the green flag pit stops, after the yellow, I mean. Alan used up his stuff in the first half of the race, so I was just maintaining pace, and Tyler's going to me, hey, how was Alan on that first run? I'm like, he kind of used up his stuff on that first run, so I think we'll be okay. Well, man, he was stalking us like a stalker, and his patience, well, he wasn't being patient with me. He wanted to get by me, but, man, once he got by me and Tyler, he made short order of Josh and brought her home to a win. Wow, that was awesome. Or I'll save my goodbye so you can do the other people. Alloy Wheel Repair Specialists out of Richmond, Butt Kicker, Sim Racer Hub, iRacingIFlight.com sponsors our truck series. Holy cow, I'm so excited. That was a hell of a race. If I forget anybody, I'll apologize. Oh, the Ghost Racing Network, thank you for putting on these great broadcasts. I've been getting nothing but compliments from you and your work. Wow, what a race. Oh, good stuff. I'll see you next week at Vegas, sir.
All right, I look forward to it. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. That is your third place finisher, Jeff Marble in the 15. And now we will pull down your second place finisher here, Tyler Marble. Tyler, you got a copy?
I got you.
Well, man, that looked like something out of a Hollywood movie that you tried right there at the end. You couldn't quite get Alan Pajari. I thought maybe you'd get him in turn 1. You didn't. You tried to get him in turn 3. What else could you have done?
Set him up, go up high, enter high, and then set him up because I know I had a really good exit car, especially out of 4. Man, but that was just a lot of fun.
Well, it looked like a lot of fun, from your point of view. Looks like you and your teammate and dad, Jeff Marble, you guys finished second and third. How does it feel to get a team 2-3 like that?
Oh, it feels great. I mean, we were sort of in the trenches there earlier in the week, banging our head, trying to get something going, and it clicked today apparently. So we'll take it. I wish it would have been 1-2 instead of 2-3, but hey, good rebound from last week.
Very good rebound. You sound just about as excited and out of breath as I was right after that thing was over. Before we let you go, is there anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Oh God, teammates, my dad, and league owner Jeff Marble, Andy Tico, Brian Conklin. I can't talk. I am an adrenaline rush. Thank you for broadcasting, Butt Kicker, Sim Racer Hub, LA World Repair Specialist. Am I missing anybody? I don't know. God, that was awesome.
All right, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Your second place finisher tonight, Tyler Marble, brings it home in the 48 machine. Now we will go drag your winner in here, and that would be Mr. Alan Pajari. Alan, you got a copy?
Yes.
All right, well, I mean, let's start with how the heck you managed to get up there in those last 10 laps. You were fourth on old tires. You managed to take the lead. How'd you do it?
I don't know. I started running the bottom more, which saves the tires a little bit. But I really thought I wore them off when I was trying to get by Jeff. I really did. And then once I got by him, and I was like, okay, I'll finish third. I'm fine with that. Or if Jeff gets by me, that's fine. Top 4 is good. But then when I took a run and I got by Josh, and Josh was tough. He's been tough, he's had a good car all week. So once I got by him, it's just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I'm actually in the lead.
Well, how about that last lap there in the last corner when you had to be thinking down the backstretch when you saw the 48 on your bumper, he was going to try something. How'd you manage to defend that? I thought for sure maybe you guys would spin and both go up into the wall.
Well, yeah, actually, I figured I'll give him a little bit of a peak on the inside going in 3. And so then I can just take a little bit higher line, and that would cut off his exit. So that's what I figured. If he would have wrecked me, he would have wrecked me, but I don't think Tyler would have done that. So that's where it end up going pretty good. So the closest I got to probably the wrecking was, I think, when Josh was making a move in turn 1 and 2 on that last lap. So he gave it a go. I think we did touch and stuff, but then he backed off. So I got to thank Josh for that. But yeah, that was a hell of a race.
Well, congrats on the win. Before we let you go, is there anyone you want to thank or shout out tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my team, Dynamic Autosports. I'm really happy or proud of those guys and stuff like that. They do good work. And so I'd like to thank the team. I'd like to thank Jeff and Tyler for putting on this fun league. And of course, Austin. It was a pretty good broadcast last week. I'm really looking forward to watching tonight's. You do a fine job, so I appreciate what you guys do for us. So happy about it.
All right.
Oh, and I guess my wife, she doesn't care, but my wife.
All right, man. Well, thank you and congratulations again on your first place finish. Enjoy it, and we will see you next week.
All right. Thank you very much.
And that was your first place finisher, Alan Pajari. Boy, what a job did he do on that last lap. I could not believe how quick he managed to go from 4th to 1st, and then he managed to hold it off. Impressive performance by the 34. Before everybody gets out of here, a couple reminders. Let's head over here real quick. The advertisement announcement. Next week, we are going to be at Las Vegas. Don't miss out on it. Danny Gutierrez was in the lead for points. That is going to change up after tonight. Alan Pajari, who was 10th, going to be jumping up big time in the points. We thank you all for coming out. Remember, we're wishing the best right now for Danny Gutierrez. Make sure you keep him in your prayers. I hope everyone did enjoy. We will see you next time. That is it for the Green Ghost in the Fast Track Sim Racing Cup Series.